Today, some brand new Thanksgiving items have just dropped in Lumber Tycoon 2, and in this video, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about this update. So for starters, we've got some brand new turkeys in Wood R Us. You can find most of them on this back shelf right here, but there are just a few scattered around the store in random spots as well. The new turkey is called the Blackbone Turkey. Just like most years, this is the same old turkey with a different bone color, and this new turkey will cost you 305 lumber bucks, which is actually quite cheap, so I'd recommend that you stock up on them. I'll show you my recommended way to stock up on them here in a second, but yeah, typically this kind of turkey will sell for about 25 to 35k each, which is in the range of a 100 times profit margin. And truckloads of these turkeys typically sell for anywhere from 1 to 3 million lumber bucks, so yeah, definitely a solid item to stock up on this year, especially since buying a truckload of these items from Wood R Us will probably cost you less than 35,000 lumber bucks. Of course, you'll probably only be able to get those crazy profit margins if you sell the items after they go off sale, which I'm going to predict these Thanksgiving items are going to go off sale probably in a week, maybe a week and a half, judging from previous years, but you know, we never really know. It's always a guessing game. But one thing that you can do is stock up for other people, since some people are too lazy to stock up on the items themselves but still want to stockpile. So if you want some instant cash, that is definitely a good way to go. Just find someone that wants to get a bunch of these items stocked up on, but they're just too lazy to stock up on them themselves. So the method to stock up on these is basically spawn the smallest truck in the game, bring it on over to Wood R Us, and then you can drive right through the door. That way you can use this as a shopping cart, although do be aware that this doesn't work in every server, so you might have problems. It doesn't work for everyone as well. It's very finicky. Sometimes when I'm with a friend, I can do this and I have no problems, but sometimes I do have problems, but my friend doesn't have problems. So yeah, it really depends on your luck, but right now, it's letting me interact with them after I've driven them over, which is exactly what you want to see. So if you can do that, that is going to speed up the process quite a bit. However, if you can't, you can literally just throw them across. And I mean, it's not quite as efficient because you have to walk and everything, and you might end up throwing it in the wrong place. So it's a little bit harder, and obviously this isn't very easy to do on mobile or console, so this is mainly just something you would do if you're on a PC, but that's also an option for stocking up on these super quickly, just to speed up the process. Then you can have a long truck out here and load it up with all of the turkeys. But yeah, that's probably the most efficient way to stock up on those, and you're definitely going to want to stock up on them. So try out the car method first. If it doesn't work for you, then go with the flingy method. Of course, if you're on mobile or console, you're probably just gonna have to walk back and forth, but if you get a friend to help you, it won't be so bad. Now for the next items, we're actually going to have to really hurry because the sun is going down, and we're actually gonna need to go to Fancy Furnishings, which does close at night, so make sure you keep in mind that you're gonna have to be there when it's daytime. After sundown, the store closes, so you want to make sure you're there when it's light out. And you also need to lower this bridge for 100 lumber bucks in order to get over to Fancy Furnishings. I have the game pass, so it's not costing me anything, but you'll probably have to pay 100 lumber bucks unless you have that game pass. Anyways, let's head on over to Fancy Furnishings, which is over this way. Let's turn on our lights. Let's see if we can get over there before it closes, because we are really short on time right now. The sun is literally going down, but over here you guys can see the next items, which are the Pecan Pies. These are going to cost you 2,789 lumber bucks, which is actually not that bad as well. I would definitely stock up on these because these are actually going to be worth probably about 10 times the price that you can buy them for right now. I'm gonna say 20 to 30,000, maybe even more, which is a pretty solid investment as well. I mean, obviously the profit margin is going to be bigger with the turkeys, but you definitely want to have a lot of variety in your shop. And there's actually a hidden pecan pie. Oh, I just opened it the wrong way. There's a hidden pecan pie in this oven right here. So if you're stocking up, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you have that open so you can get all of the pecan pies. And honestly, this is not a bad method for stocking up, is just grabbing and flinging them across over to the counter. Let me see if I can buy all of these before Fancy Furnishings closes. Nope. And a truckload of these kinds of pies typically goes for about like 2 to 4 million lumber bucks. So yeah, it's a pretty good idea to stock up on these as well. They will sell for a little bit more, but obviously they are more expensive. But yeah, definitely get as many of these as you can if you can afford it, because these will definitely go up in price and you'll be able to make a massive profit. Of course, as always, with pretty much all of the food items in Lumber Tycoon 2, you can take these up to the volcano and cook them. So you're gonna want to make your way up this mountain. Just basically follow the path. It's not too hard to get lost. I'd imagine you've already been to the volcano before, but just in case you haven't, it's just right up here. Over here you can see there is a little tunnel here, and essentially the way that this works is in the volcano, you'll start getting hurt at a certain point. Like, as you guys can see right here, I'm not getting hurt, but past this point, right about here, I will start taking damage, as you guys can see. So past that point, you're going to want to put the new items in this little zone. This is called basically the damage zone. And as long as the items are past the damage zone, they will cook. So I would recommend putting them quite a bit past the damage zone just to make sure that they'll cook. So I've got them relatively far into the damage zone. You don't want to put them all the way over where the boulders might knock them off, but just set them there and they will slowly start cooking. I think it takes about 5 minutes for them to catch fire, and then around 25 to 30 minutes for them to turn completely black after that. They will only be on fire after that as long as they are in the damage zone. So if you take them out, they will just lose the fire effect, as you guys can see. And then if you put it back in the damage zone, it is going to take another 5 minutes to catch fire again. Here you can see the progression from not cooked all the way up to completely cooked. I've taken these each out every 2 minutes, so I just had a bunch of them and then took 2 of them out of the damage zone every single 2 minutes for about 26 minutes, and by the 26th minute you can see that it's just completely black. It might have a little bit more to go after that, but not much. So if you want completely pitch black, I would just go for like 30 minutes. All of these are upside down, by the way. It's just a little bit easier to see the change in color over time, but let me flip them all over so you can see it from the top as well. And yeah, I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what they will look like over time. These aren't stages, by the way. I think it smoothly transitions from completely uncooked to black. Like, I'm sure you could make this much bigger if you took them out every 1 minute, but yeah, this gives you a pretty good idea. Anyways, we also have a brand new type of icicle light here in the icicle light area. We've had these basic icicle lights for quite a while, and even the spooky icicle lights for quite a while. These candy cane icicle lights were pretty recent, and then the scary icicle lights were actually just a month ago. So yeah, that is incredibly recent for Lumber Tycoon 2 standards. It looks like we are not slowing down. We have even more icicle lights this time. These are called the Maple Leaf Icicle Lights, and they're gonna cost you 1,450 lumber bucks. As always with these icicle lights, I probably wouldn't worry about stocking up on them unless you're paranoid about them going off sale, but generally, I mean, you could probably tell by all of these icicle lights, you know, these are obviously supposed to be for Halloween. It's way past Halloween. We've had these candy cane icicle lights all year for I think 2 or 3 years now, so that's a pretty good indicator that these will probably stick around. So you probably won't have to stock up on them because it's not like they're limited. I mean, you never know, but honestly, I really wouldn't worry about stocking up on them because they're probably gonna be available all year around, so you can get them whenever. You might want to have just a bunch of them on your base though, because they are just so nice. Let's bring these icicle lights back so I can go quickly show you what they can do. So these new maple icicle lights are exactly 28 studs, which is the same as the candy cane icicle lights, which is equal to 3.5 smooth walls. Here we have the max length for the spooky icicle lights, regular icicle lights, candy cane icicle lights, obviously the maple leaf icicle lights, regular wires, and the neon wire. So I've got these new amber icicle lights. I'm just going to string along a section, and as you guys can see, it makes for these very beautiful maple leaf lights, which are just so pretty. I think this would be very great for like a tree build. If you were trying to make a tree, I mean, that's perfect, especially if it's supposed to be one in the autumn time. But of course, since it's a wire, it can also be activated, so I'm just going to rewire this, making sure that it's touching the output of this lever. And now I can activate it, and you guys can see it emits this very soft orange glow, and obviously the maple leaves become neon, which is also just so cool. They're so cozy. I cannot wait to use this in builds. Of course, if you're familiar with the way that Roblox renders things behind glass, aka it just doesn't, let's go ahead and place down some glass. As you guys can see, behind glass, the bulbs do not render. That is true whether the lights are on or off. It doesn't matter. They will not render behind glass, which can actually be used in builds, I'm sure. If you want a brown wire, you can easily just hide all of the bulbs if you don't want the bulbs to render. But of course, you have to put them behind glass. So if you wanted to build a tree out of these, you could do it with a viewing area. But of course, if you just want a brown wire, you can always place it against a floor, and you won't be able to see the bulbs sticking through because they will be in the floor. But don't worry, it is not limited to just floors. You can actually place these against a wall without these bulbs rendering if the segment is small enough. So if you just place it, I don't know exactly how long it has to be. As you guys can see, a bulb did spawn that time, but if you make it the shortest distance, it will not render any bulbs, which means if you just have enough of these, you can actually build with brown wires, which is so awesome. Obviously, it's gonna look a little bit patchy, and I don't know if you guys can see the resemblance here, but placing these this way actually looks almost exactly like the pipes on my UGC hat. And this is for the Steam series, which obviously is super exciting because the Steam series is probably going to end up using a lot of these as like pipes because they just look a lot like copper pipes. So yeah, it's gonna be so exciting to use these for Steam series builds. Make sure you check out the Steam series, by the way, if you haven't already. I'm building a steampunk city in Lumber Tycoon 2. It's so much fun. But yeah, these are definitely gonna come in handy a lot. But yeah, I think that'll pretty much do it for the 2025 Thanksgiving items in Lumber Tycoon 2. Hopefully this video has helped you, and if it did, please like it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video once it's out. See ya!